Meta just had the worst year in AI. Their flagship model flopped. Their benchmarks were faked. Their top scientist, one of the godfathers of modern AI, just quit and called their entire approach a dead end. And in the middle of all this chaos, Mark Zuckerberg spent $2 billion buying a Chinese-founded AI startup. This is the story of how the company has spent $70 billion on AI, watched it all fall apart, and what they're doing to fix it. To understand what went wrong, you need to understand how big Meta was betting on AI. Mark Zuckerberg has called AI the company's top priority. In 2025 alone, Meta committed over $70 billion in capital expenditure, most of it going to data centers and AI infrastructure. The centerpiece of this strategy was Llama, Meta's open-source language model. Unlike OpenAI's ChatGPT or Google's Gemini, Llama was free. Anyone could use it, modify it, build on it. This wasn't just generosity. It was strategy. By making Llama open source, Meta could build goodwill with the developer community, compete with closed models without charging, and establish themselves as the open source AI leader. For years, it worked. Llama became the favorite among AI researchers. Meta was seen as the good guy of big tech AI. Then came Llama 4. On April 5, 2025, a Saturday, Meta dropped Llama 4. 3 new models, Scout, Maverick, and the still training Behemoth. Meta claimed Behemoth already outperformed GPT 4.5, Claude, and Gemini on key benchmarks. The AI community was excited. Llama 4 Maverick shot to number 2 on LM Arena, a popular leaderboard where humans vote on which AI gives better answers. But within days, researchers noticed something strange. The version of Llama 4 that Meta submitted to the leaderboard wasn't the same as the version they released to the public. The experimental version Meta used for testing was specifically tuned to win the popularity contest. It produced longer responses. It used emojis. It was designed to charm human voters. The public version? Much more basic. It was like showing up to a car race with a Formula One car, winning, and then selling people a Honda Civic, claiming it's the same vehicle. LM Arena called them out publicly. Meta should have made it clearer that this was a customized model to optimize for human preference. But it got worse. Yann LeCun is not just any Meta employee. He's one of the 3 godfathers of modern AI. Winner of the Turing Award, the Nobel Prize of Computing. He joined Facebook in 2013 to build their AI research lab from scratch. For over a decade, he was the face of Meta's AI credibility. In a recent interview with the Financial Times, LeCun confirmed what everyone suspected. Results were fudged a little bit. He explained, the team used different models for different benchmarks to give better results. This wasn't a bug. It wasn't a miscommunication. Meta's AI team deliberately manipulated their benchmark results to look better than they were. And Mark Zuckerberg's reaction? According to LeCun, Mark was really upset and basically lost confidence in everyone who was involved in this. And so basically sidelined the entire Gen AI organization. A lot of people have left. A lot of people who haven't yet left will leave. In November 2025, Yann LeCun announced he was leaving Meta after 12 years. But he didn't just leave quietly. He left with a warning. LLMs basically are a dead end when it comes to superintelligence. Large language models, the technology behind ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and yes, Llama, are fundamentally limited. LeCun argues. They predict text. They don't truly understand the world. LeCun is now building a startup called Advanced Machine Intelligence Labs. They are working on world models, AI that learns from video and physical reality, not just text. The startup is already targeting a $3.5 billion valuation before it's even launched. But here's what's most revealing. When asked about Meta's new AI leadership, particularly Alexandra Wang, the 28-year-old former Scale AI CEO who Zuckerberg brought in, LeCun didn't hold back. He called Wang young and inexperienced. I'm sure there's a lot of people at Meta, including perhaps Alex, would like me to not tell the world that LLMs are basically a dead end. But I'm not going to change my mind because some dude thinks I'm wrong. My integrity as a scientist cannot allow me to do this. The godfather of AI just told Meta their entire strategy is wrong, and then walked out the door. 3 weeks after LeCun's departure, Meta made its move, $2 billion, for a startup most Americans had never heard of. But in China, Manus was being called the second Chinese AI moment after DeepSeek. Let me explain why. Manus launched on March 6, 2025. The name means hand in Latin. Built by Monica.im, a Chinese startup, and it's not a chatbot. It's a general-purpose AI agent. The difference? ChatGPT answers your questions. Manus completes your tasks autonomously. Give it 300 job applications. It reads everyone, ranks candidates, and outputs a spreadsheet with confidence scores. Ask it to build an e-commerce website. It designs, codes, integrates payments, and deploys it live in hours. It can control more than 50 browser windows simultaneously. It's processed 147 trillion tokens. On the Gaia benchmark, which tests general AI assistants, Manus beat OpenAI at every difficulty level. $0 to $100 million in annual recurring revenue in 8 months. That's why it's worth $2 billion. But here's where it gets complicated. Manus was founded in Beijing. Its parent company, Butterfly Effect, relocated to Singapore. Early investors included Tencent and Sequoia China. When US firm Benchmark invested in Manus, Senator John Cornyn attacked them publicly. Who thinks it is a good idea for American investors to subsidize our biggest adversary in AI? Now Meta owns the whole company. They say all Chinese ties will be cut. Operations in China will shut down. But the deal closed in just 10 days. That's unusually fast for a $2 billion acquisition with Chinese roots in the middle of a US-China tech war. Let's step back. April, Llama 4 launches. Benchmark's fate. November, LeCun quits. Calls LLMs a dead end. December, Meta spends $2 billion on a Chinese-founded AI agent. Here's what I think is really happening. The LLM race, bigger models, more parameters, better benchmarks, is hitting a wall. When one of the inventors of deep learning says the entire approach is limited, and then walks out the door to build something different, that's not drama. That's a signal. And Meta's response? They didn't double down on their own research. They bought their way out of the problem, acquiring a Chinese company that already figured out how to make AI actually do things, not just say things. That tells me the future isn't better chatbots. It's autonomous agents. Meta just paid $2 billion for that bet. And they did it so fast, they didn't even care about the political optics of buying a Chinese-founded company. That's not confidence. That's desperation. Meta's AI story isn't over, but the cracks are showing. The question now, is Meta the only one in trouble? Or are Google, OpenAI, and Anthropic about to face the same wall? Because if LeCun is right, if LLMs really are a dead end, then a lot of companies just spent hundreds of billions of dollars on the wrong technology. That's the story I'll be tracking. I'm covering what's really happening in AI with sources you won't find in English media. If that's useful to you, follow Fortune AI wherever you listen. I'll see you in the next one.